PAL is a Tamil-led advocacy organisation operating in the US, Canada, Europe, UK and Australia, working to raise awareness of the Tamil genocide and to promote justice and accountability for Sri Lanka's mass atrocities and its ongoing human rights abuses against Tamil-speaking people. So this May 18th marks 13 years since the Mullivaikkal genocide that occurred during the last stages of the ethnic conflict. Between 70,000 and 169,796 Tamils remain unaccounted for, killed by the Sri Lankan government, which has been credibly accused by the UN of committing crimes against humanity and war crimes. We also remember the heartbreak and the pure desperation of the Tamil diaspora communities all over the world as they chanted at the top of their lungs at numerous protests, trying to alert the world to the genocide that was taking place in Sri Lanka, urging policymakers to take action and to stop the deaths of thousands of people. 13 years on, those responsible for the Mullivaikkal genocide remain unpunished. Amidst the political and economic crisis engulfing Sri Lanka today, the Sri Lankan government continues to repress Tamil people's right to memorialization. The Mullivaikkal memorialization site remains under heavy military surveillance, and police continue to harass and threaten members of the Tamil community who have come together to remember their loved ones. The unwillingness of successive Sri Lankan governments to take meaningful steps towards accountability and justice for its crimes is seen very clearly in this ongoing criminalization of Tamil memorialization. Sri Lanka also continues to increase its militarization of the northeast. The current size of its army is almost double the size of the UK's. Compared to any other country in the world, Sri Lanka also spends one of the highest proportions of its annual budget on military and defence. This budget allocation only increased after the end of the armed conflict in 2009. The root cause of Sri Lanka's historical political instability and ethnic conflict, and now further political and economic crisis today, is Sinhala Buddhist nationalism. This nationalism causes successive governments to make irrational decisions and policies based on a need to pander to the idea of a Sinhala Buddhist unitary state. The current foundations of the Sri Lankan state are inherently incompatible with the Tamil people's vision of a pluralist or plurinational Sri Lanka, and this is what fueled the initial violence against Tamils more than half a century ago, the brutal anti-Tamil pogroms, the genocide, the ongoing land grabs, heavy militarization, violence, and rights abuses against the Tamil community today. 13 years after the ethnic conflict, there has been no reform in Sri Lanka's state policy, and progress has rapidly deteriorated. Sri Lanka's new Prime Minister, Rajkumar, is also on the record of rejecting a federal political solution and an international war crimes tribunal. Rajkumar has also dismissed the Tamil families of the disappeared, stating that the families of the disappeared loved ones are probably dead. Sri Lanka has shown time and time again its domestic failure to address its crimes, which is why it is vital that the international community pushes for an independent international mechanism for justice and accountability for Sri Lanka's wartime atrocities. It's important that